All right, what's going on? Happy Saturday. You know, I made that video yesterday, went on a bit of a rant about the dirty hopper. Okay, here we go, rant of the day. My rant of the day. When a hopper is dirty to begin with all this kind of shit, concrete sticks to it like Velcro. Keep your stuff clean, keep it oiled, and you don't have to deal with washouts like this. Extremely frustrating, I will say. But yeah, nice clean metal, keep it oiled. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this, but yeah. On this machine right here, undecided if I was gonna keep the clip in my long form video and the pour video from that day, or if I would wake up feeling refreshed and just forget about it and get over it. You know what? Not only am I gonna keep the clip in the pour video, I'm gonna make a second video based on exactly what we talked about yesterday, rather than sit around and cry about it and do nothing about it and bitch about it. You know what we're gonna do? We are gonna clean this thing up. There's nothing worse than somebody who sits around and cries and whines without a resolution or a solution. So, just to refresh what we're dealing with. Gross. All the little scabbies. Ugh. Looks like a mortar mixer. So we're gonna bring this thing in the shop. We're gonna get down to business. We're gonna clean this thing up, get her looking mwah, and solve the issue, or at least the result of the issue. The actual deeper issue, well, that's a whole other conversation that I've been trying to figure out for 25 plus years now, so we can talk about that later too. Anyhow, get this in the shop, we'll start cleaning this up and make this thing look spiffy again. All right, before we jump in here, extremely important, never ever do we have the truck engine running with the truck in PTO while we're in the hopper there doing maintenance, cleaning, whatever it may be. Doesn't matter if your e-stop button is pushed in, doesn't matter if the hopper grade safety switch has been activated. Do not get in that hopper with the engine running, PTO engaged, or any pressure in the accumulator. You have to make sure that that accumulator is dumped. So now that we got that out of the way, we're gonna dig in here. So what we're after, what made that washout so extra crappy yesterday, rotate this paddle here. There we go. All those little scabs, all this kind of stuff, all that junk, that is like Velcro to concrete. That will make your washout suck. So we're gonna get all that stuff off underneath the S-tube, the agitator paddles, the walls of the hopper, which actually aren't terrible, but mainly all the little scabbies, the stuff in around there. Clean it off, grind it down, oil it up, easy washouts. And this lid, we're definitely gonna take care of this lid. That's horrific. So I'll get the tools ready here, tools lined up, and get cracking at this. All right, tools of the trade here. Tools of the trade for this task today. Super important one, the Goodson Super Scraper. Awesome tool, carbide tip scraper, nice heavy wooden handle so you can really lean into it. That's gonna come in clutch for cleaning that hopper lid. This is my own personal one. I just put this one out so you could, for display purposes, so you could see the label and whatnot. But I've had this one here for a couple of years. They're expensive, they're like 40, 50 bucks, but they last a long time. Highly recommended. Needle scaler for some of the fine finishing work, some of the scabbies in the bottom of the hopper there. We'll use needle scaler on those. Good old-fashioned chipping hammer to get the heavier stuff. And then a grinder, an angle grinder with a flapper wheel sanding disc on it to fine finish. There's a wheel type on there to fine finish the walls of the hopper. So that'll be everything we use. And can't forget gloves, safety glasses, and super important, a mask. I did a video of this similar process 2 years previous with no mask on. Lots of comments about the dangers of silicosis and whatnot. And you're absolutely right. So here's a mask. I will be wearing a mask today. Really? Really? absolutely unacceptable. Oh, we can't forget, working with these things especially, earplugs. Definitely want to have hearing protection. All right, so I always like to start off with the bulk stuff, so we'll start on these agitator paddles right here. There we go, step one. The paddles look way better. We'll still do a little bit of detailing around the bolts and whatnot, but they're getting there. They're close. All right, big boy hammer time in around the cutting ring here. I hear the big boy hammer's having some problems. Something's definitely up with this thing. Okay, well. Old $20 Mighty Mouse special it will be. We got most of it. But the stuff in under the cutting ring there, between the wear plate, sorry, and the floor of the hopper is really in there. And this thing's got, it's having some trouble, so we're not going to get too fussy about that today. So we'll proceed to the corners. This is one of my pet peeve spots. I love using the bentonite up in here. Bentonite or oil, whatever you got, does wonders preventing this from sticking in here. We'll buzz away at these corners here and then we'll move on to the hopper walls last. Here's a fun one. The hole here at the top of the S-tube for hoisting it in and out with a crane. Do you chip that one out or do you leave it? I think you know what direction we're going to go while we're in here. The other side now. We'll give this vibrator a little touch up. When the vibrator gets caked up like this, it dampens the vibrating effect. It's going to be really careful around the vibrator of the chipping hammer. If you dent those end caps, if you dent them in, the weights can get hung up on them and you can short the vibrator out. So something kind of like that, you get the idea. Okay, so now that we got a lot of the bulk taken care of, and I actually did get in around that wear plate, we're going to take our needle scaler and we'll work on all this kind of stuff. See what it does though? It gets that nice and clean. And then we just take the sanding disc to it afterwards. Like so. Here's my favorite one. I'm sure you've all seen my literally dozens of videos by now about putting dirt under the S-tube to prevent that. Exactly why we use the dirt. Prevent that so I don't have to get in here and do this. Repositioned here. Repositioned here. it is pretty satisfying to get that out of there. All right, we're about halfway there. Let's crack the hopper door and see what we got. And from the water leaking out of that hopper, I would say what we've got is leaking piston cups. Quite possibly. That's interesting. Okay, I'll have to look into that too. It does appear to be coming down the cylinder from the other side. We'll shift that over and see how it looks. Well, this will be a Houston, we have a problem. Look at this. Not what you want to see coming out of your material cylinder. That's not good. The cup on that side is definitely toast. All right, so we've chipped out all the bulk stuff here. Now, the main offender, what was causing me the most grief there yesterday, is just these scabbies. This is the stuff the day of concrete sticks to like crazy. It makes your washout an absolute pain in the ass. Think of it like the opposite of oil. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab the scaler here. So let's give this a go. Beautiful. See that? Nice clean metal. So we'll take this around, get all the little scabs off, get it in a clean metal, and the sander will be the final step. All right, now, time for the most rewarding part of the whole process. It's sander time. So we will go around the hopper and do that to the whole thing. Make it pretty, pretty, pretty. And keep this oiled up, and concrete ain't gonna stick to that too well. No, sir. Hopper walls are done, sanded, beautiful. Now we're gonna have some fun. Here's where we get to see the Goodson scraper do its thing. You get the general idea. Whew, there we go. That was a lot of work. Actually, I had to use my needle scaler. This was beyond the capabilities of the Goodson Super Scraper. Oh mama, it's a lot of work. So we got half done, but there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. I can feel it. This is exciting stuff. Must persevere. Even with this thing, it takes a while, but the reward is worth the sacrifice. Just like that. Done. We'll pull this thing ahead. We'll oil her up a little bit, put a bit of oil on her, I think, and then have a good look at her. Speaking of oil, that's why I don't like using petroleum-based oil, because it does this to the rubber, curls it up, breaks it down. No good. So I like my canola oil. Anyhow, what did we do for debris? How did we do for debris coming out of her? Yeah, 15, 20 pounds. I've seen worse. All right, here we are 3 hours later, all done. Let's have a look at the handiwork here. And yeah, I could have got a little more detailed with the hopper grate and things like that. But yeah, look at this now. Oh, them hopper walls. Sparkly clean. Nothing's gonna stick to that. So much better. Under the tube. Around the cutting ring. Even cleaned up the vibrator a little bit. Yeah, that makes me happy. Definitely rewarding work. Feels good now that it's done. Right? Pretty good. Okay, so now that we're all said and done here, what do you guys think? What do you do, or what do your companies or employers do to try and keep on top of keeping the equipment clean? 25 years doing this, it's a never-ending challenge, and I gotta say, our guys are definitely way above average in terms of clean, in my opinion. For our market, they do a pretty good job. Sometimes, like in this case, so it can still be frustrating. I don't think that I'm over the top OCD clean. I might have been 10 years ago. I think now I've kind of let it go a bit. So what do you think? Do you think was I being unreasonable? Am I being a whiny little crybaby, or was it justified? Like I said, my biggest issue is when the hopper gets all scabby like it was, the concrete sticks to it, and your washout sucks. And at the end of the day, when you just want to pack up, get her done, and go home, you're stuck battling a washout that is unnecessarily difficult. This is going to be so much easier to clean out. Let me know what you think. And what would you score this out of 10? I'm going to say this is about a 7. Like I said, I didn't get all crazy with the hopper grate and whatnot. I kind of ran out of time here, actually. But it's mostly the hopper walls and whatnot that I was concerned with. And the lid. Sorry, can't neglect the lid. The before and after of the lid is the most impressive part, actually. So anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a great discussion point. So, you know, goes till next time. Keep on pumping. And World of Concrete, January, 3rd week of January, we will have our new 56 meter PUTZMEISTER with ISA full flex outrigger system featured in the PUTZMEISTER booth. And I will be there hanging out. I'll be at the show all day, Tuesday through to Thursday. But I'll be hanging out in the Putz booth for 1 to 2 hours, hanging out near our new machine, Tuesday to Thursday as well. So hope to see you guys there. Keep on pumping.